Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. This is your deep dive daily briefing. I am your anchor, delivering a comprehensive analysis of the pivotal events that have defined the last 24 hours. We begin our broadcast with a grave escalation in the Middle East that has effectively paralyzed one of the world's most critical maritime corridors. Following a weekend of intense military strikes by United States and Israeli forces against Iranian targets, the Strait of Hormuz has become a focal point of direct conflict. Reports confirmed late yesterday that 3 tankers were struck by projectiles in the strait and the Gulf of Oman, tragically resulting in the death of a seafarer on the vessel Viam. In response to these targeted attacks on civilian shipping, the global maritime industry has entered a state of emergency. Mediterranean Shipping Company, Maersk, and Hapag-Lloyd have all officially suspended crossings through the strait until further notice. This blockade of a waterway that handles 20% of global oil consumption has sent shockwaves through energy markets, as hundreds of vessels are now anchored at the mouth of the Persian Gulf, awaiting security clearance while the Iranian Revolutionary Guard continues to issue warnings that no passage is permitted.
Transitioning from the front lines of conflict to the global economy, the narrative is being shaped by a dramatic pivot in United States trade policy. Following the landmark Supreme Court ruling on February 20th that invalidated broad emergency tariff powers, the landscape of protectionism has undergone a rapid restructuring. As of 12:01 a.m. on February 24th, the previous emergency tariffs were officially terminated, only to be replaced within hours by a new blanket 10% levy under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. President Trump has signaled that this rate could rise to 15% as early as this week, as the administration seeks to maintain its economic leverage through alternative legal statutes. This policy whiplash is forcing global manufacturers to abandon long-term forecasts in favor of extreme operational agility. While certain sectors like civil aviation have secured temporary exemptions, the broader industrial world is grappling with the reality that the cost of global trade is no longer a predictable variable but a volatile instrument of national strategy.
In the realm of finance, all eyes are on the banking sector as it officially enters what many are calling the agentic era. Reports from the ongoing OECD Financial Markets Week in Paris highlight that 2026 is the year financial institutions have moved from AI assistance to transactional authority. Major global banks are now deploying digital co-workers capable of autonomously settling routine trades and managing complex compliance checks. This shift is being driven by the need to combat a sophisticated new wave of generative AI-enabled financial scams, which have become the primary risk facing consumers this year. Simultaneously, on Wall Street, the focus remains on the resilience of the technology sector. Despite a recent pullback in megacap names due to skepticism over AI capital expenditures, corporate buyback authorizations reached a staggering $233 billion in February, providing a vital liquidity floor as investors navigate the dual pressures of high interest rates and escalating geopolitical risk.
Turning our attention to the technology sector, the focus has shifted to Barcelona, where Mobile World Congress 2026 has officially opened its doors with a series of record-breaking announcements. Apple has made a rare MWC-timed splash by launching the iPhone 17e and a new iPad Air with the M4 processor, signaling a more aggressive stance in the mid-range market. However, the show floor is being dominated by the arrival of agentic companions and humanoid robotics. Xiaomi has unveiled its Vision Gran Turismo hypercar concept, while Honor has showcased a moonwalking humanoid robot alongside its ultra-thin Magic V6 foldable. Beyond these consumer gadgets, the semiconductor industry is hitting a historic inflection point. With annual sales projected to reach $975 billion this year, the competition for high-bandwidth memory and AI infrastructure has entered a supercycle. This growth is facing a physical ceiling, as AI data centers are now projected to require an additional 92 gigawatts of electric power by next year, forcing a radical rethink of global energy procurement.
Finally, we look at the logistics and supply chain networks that serve as the vital arteries of global commerce. The industry is currently managing the combined impact of the Hormuz blockade and a significant shift in warehouse operations. New data released yesterday indicates that warehouse robotics use is expanding rapidly beyond industry giants like Amazon and Walmart, as-a-service models allow small and medium enterprises to automate their supply chains. This technological integration is becoming a necessity as the industry faces a potential logistics big bang. With the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed, logistics managers are warning of massive inland bottlenecks as cargo is rerouted through already strained gateways. Furthermore, in the aviation sector, French developer Aura Aero has secured the first firm orders for its hybrid electric regional aircraft, signaling that the long-term push for decarbonized logistics is moving from concept to commercial reality, even as the immediate term remains defined by the volatility of energy costs and maritime security. That concludes our global briefing for today. Thank you for joining us.